Yo, what's up, guys? This is Icelandic Hero, and today I'm gonna make a little video about VOD reviewing. I think VOD reviewing is a skill that most people in Challenger and just in general do not have, and I'm gonna teach you guys how to do it. So today we're gonna be VOD reviewing Canyon, playing NIDALEE, C rank 1 Korean jungler, and the reason I think VOD reviewing is like an important skill is because you can critically think about what the players make, like the decisions they're making. Sorry, I'm a little stuttery. I've never made a YouTube video before where I'm directly talking to the camera. So, pretty much, we're gonna try to critically think about what the jungler, what his decision making is, and we're gonna try to predict. So you want to predict, react and adapt. I think that's what my former LEC coach taught me. So let's get into it. And by the way, if you don't know me, I'm gotten challenger twice on NA, playing jungle, and a little bit of mid lane. But I like to think I'm pretty decent. So let's get to it. If you think I am being cringe right now, I probably sound a little cringe because I never done this shit before. But I think I have what it takes to teach people how to kind of play jungle correctly, and I'm just gonna have to pump out a few videos to get used to it. By the way, if you do want any tips or advice from me, I live stream on Twitch uh, pretty much daily now. I'm trying to get into it, and right now I'm 450 LP. I climbed from Master 0 LP to like 450 in 4 days, so I'm speedrunning to Challenger, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Okay, so I just want to pause the video now. Now we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into the actual replay here. So what you should do, honestly, I mean, before he even went out of base, we should look right here. We want to look at both team comps. So we're gonna go from top to bot. If you look at top lane, what do you think is going to happen? And if you want to follow along, do a little exercise in the comments. Try to predict what will happen in the lanes before I say anything. So like type like top lane, this will happen, jungle this, whatever. So first I'm gonna do top lane. So you can pause now and write what you think will happen top lane, like early game, mid game, late game, some shit like that. Okay. I'm looking at it right now. So Gragas versus Gnar. Gnar has a lot of range. He's gonna do a lot of poking damage. Like he can pretty much auto attack Gragas whenever he wants. But Gragas he has a lot of sustain, right? He has his W and his passive. You can just drink and get his health back, get resistances. I think this lane is kind of, to me, it's kind of a dead lane, right? If you gotta think as the jungler, you gotta think from the jungler's perspective. Like, do you want to gank this lane? As Poppy, probably not. Ganking Gragas is like miserable. He can interrupt every dash in the game, but also Poppy can, I guess, interrupt his dash. But like, he's kind of hard to lock down. He has resistances built into his kit, and his ult, his lockups, so it's really bad. Gnar, he just wants to push in. He wants to be pushing in. Like, to me, this lane is just dead. Like, we don't want to worry about this. If I'm playing NIDALEE, I'd probably start red. But we'll get into that later, okay? That's kind of my observation. And this is the type of stuff, if you practice this in VOD review, this little analysis, you want to be able to do this in your solo queue game pretty quickly in the loading screen. Like, analyze what's going on. So mid lane, I'm gonna try not to go on tangents, but so you're gonna have to bear with me. All right, so mid lane, let's see. Katarina versus Yasuo. And obviously, sorry, I'm another tangent. when you are doing this, you're gonna have to realize, like, as a jungler, you probably won't know the ideal lane matchups and what's gonna happen in every lane. But you want to predict, and then you want to see what happens. Try to figure out why it happened, if it was like weird, or if that matchup just goes that way. and then, you know, adapt. Next time you see this matchup, you'll be able to predict it more accurately. So Katarina versus Yasuo. This is just, I mean, this lane is volatile, right? Ignite versus Exhaust. So they both have these offensive summoner spells. Yasuo versus Katarina, flashy champions. They're probably gonna fight. And so mid lane is something that I'd be looking at probably the whole game. And we have bot lane. Amumuzeri versus Twitch Syndra. If I'm Nidalee here, I'm looking at this and I'm like going, why did my support pick Syndra? So to me this looks like pretty favored towards blue side, I think. Like unless Twitch Syndra Smurf, they're just gonna lose because Amumu can set up a gank for Poppy. So that's what I think. That's what I think. I think these guys have the push, but then Poppy's just gonna gank them, right? So now you gotta think, like, if you're playing Nidalee here, you want to think, what is the Poppy gonna do? She's probably gonna do like blue, Gromp, red, gank bot lane, right? Because ganking bot lane is the most free lane to gank for her. So we're just gonna have to factor that in. So I'm gonna predict that Poppy's gonna start blue, Gromp, red, gank. So you have to realize also it's Korea, so they're probably gonna recamp and gank a lot, especially if you're playing Poppy. So we just gotta be ready for that. And for us, I mean, we can try to counter gank bot lane. We can try to dive top lane with Gragas, but probably not early game. He's never going to get enough damage to dive. So we're not going to path top early game. We might have to path bot lane to cover them and try to counter gank. Or we're going to be ganking mid lane. It's a good opportunity. Obviously, it's hard to gank Katarina, so probably the safest thing for us to do is to just path towards bot lane and be ready for the counter gank. So I personally would do a full clear. If I'm playing Nidalee here, I would do red, Krugs, Race, or Raptors. And then as I'm walking across here, I'd be looking hard at bot lane. If my bot lane is in a risky position, I will skip wolves, skip either like yeah. So if they're in a risky position while I'm walking across the mid lane, I will walk straight bot lane to cover them. If they're not in a risky position, I'll do my wolves, and then as I'm walking from wolves to blue, I'll look bot lane again and see if it's counter gankable, whatever. I'm also looking mid a little bit, and then, you know, after Gromp, like, I'm probably not getting this grab, but I'm either covering or recalling and going for top grab. And then, so yeah. So that's how I predict this early game to go. I could be 100% wrong, right? But we're gonna watch this rank 1 jungler and kind of learn from him. And Nidalee is like one of my favorite champions, so he's gonna be great. I'm gonna turn this up a bit, so we're gonna skip a little bit here. So he goes in for a little bit of scouting information. He's gonna drop a ward here. I wonder why he drops this ward. Maybe. Oh, okay. Actually, I do know why this is a pretty decent ward, I guess. If you're playing against a champion that can gank level 2, which Poppy is definitely one of those, as a jungler, you can ward the side where the enemy jungler is starting. So I think me and Canyon both predict that he's starting blue probably. So the Poppy could do blue into a mid lane gank, or blue Gromp into a mid lane gank, and then this ward would spot the gank and save the Yasuo. So I think that's what his thinking is there. Okay, so we're just gonna do red buff, which I predicted. Seems like he's pulling it, and he smites. Okay, so he's gonna 3 camp. He's gonna. So instead of like saying what happens, he's just gonna be proactive about it. But they have a ward on their red buff, right? So we know Poppy's starting blue, and we definitely know, since this is Korea, that Poppy's gonna 3 camp bot lane or 3 camp mid. So Nidalee's just gonna get ahead of it and 3 camp herself, which I respect. In NA, I would probably full clear, but in Korea, like, it's pretty optimal. Like, this is really smart. Like, usually you want to full clear on NIDALEE. It's like her clear is pretty fast and decently healthy. But here, I mean, the bot lane is just too volatile, I guess. So we see them fighting. He's just gonna instantly. He's probably looking bot lane right now. We can't see because it's spectating. I would assume Poppy's on her way. So, okay, I mean, the enemy bot lane is just trolling. Okay. Poppy probably like thought twice about ganking because her bot lane was winning. Yeah, so she just went straight to crab. Okay, well that was pretty optimal, right? That's probably the best play he could have made, right? Gank the most volatile lane. I mean, Twitch Syndra just want to fight the whole time, and Theory and Mumu just want to set up ganks the whole time. So now we can pause and we can try to predict what we should do next. To be honest, I think we should just do wolves and then hover mid. Or do wolves and instantly recall for items. I don't know how much gold he has. Because if you look at mid lane, our Yasuo's a little bit pushed up, so we might want to cover him. But if we recall, we can get a lot of tempo and gold. Also, we can't do scuttles. Like, the bot scuttle's already gone. And going for top scuttle would kind of just... I feel like it would just lead us away from everything. But I guess he might go for it. Or he's just going to go for his... Maybe he's just trying to hit an item breakpoint and full clear his jungle. Seems like that's where he's doing. It's hard to know when you don't have all the information. Like, we don't really know how much gold he has. But the problem with doing this is, like, there's a lot of downtime for you. And it probably doesn't get a kill, so the best thing is just to get free crab. Yeah. Yeah, so his... Wait, he's looking for a gank. It's pretty good to just be always looking. Whichever side you're jungling on, you should be looking at the lanes to see if they're gankable. I mean, that's kind of what he was doing there. Like, he was probably panning his camera over to top lane while he was doing the crab. And he realized it was a free kill. So now we know that Poppy could either be still bot lane, or she's definitely going to her respawn camps up top lane. So Poppy's probably on Gromp, since we don't see her bot. She's gonna path back bot lane. So I guess now, after this race, I would just recall and run straight bot lane. Because you have your camp up, you have your Gromp up bot lane, right? And no summoners on either side, so that's just kind of what you want to kill. But he buys boots with tempo and, yeah, Hextech, whatever that's called. But yeah, this is a huge buy. Like, he is the best champion in the game right now. He's so strong. You just have to be careful because Poppy counters NIDALEE. Can catch on your jump. This kind of sucks. Twitch is recalling, so we're probably not going to look for a play. We might look for an invade on his Raptors. I think Poppy's already on the Raptors, though. Okay, Wolves are spawning. Switch to Wolves. Okay, Twitch canceled his recall, so we should be looking bot lane. If you're jungling right now, like, obviously NIDALEE takes some APM to jungle, but like right now you should be looking bot. He's definitely looking bot for an angle. Oh, and he sees Poppy. We knew Poppy just finished her race, so we should have known she was around this area. We should take this fight because we have more people. Okay, I mean, Pizang is just crazy. He also ulted and he got a shield from the ability of the ult. Okay, now we have some downtime. I mean, the race are definitely not up. There's no invading to be done. guess we just get some vision. Clear your top side. Nothing else to do. Right now, if I were to pause, like, what's my plan right now? It's just to do these two camps. If top lane is free, then I'll gank top. If not, I really want to play for this dragon. So let's see, we do the dread buff. Okay, so we see Poppy ganked from our back behind the turret, so our Krugs are probably gone. And we're just here in time to... Maybe we just... Yeah, we just kill both. That was like... That's just like... The Poppy is just trying to force plays, and the NIDALEE is just taking free shit. So yeah, I like this. So this is what a lot of people wouldn't do, right? If you've been tracking the jungle, you should know that. Like earlier, the Poppy had cleared twice, right? And then her third round is spawning. We should know that because it's been a while since the Poppy was over here and we did all this. So after you get these kills, you instantly invade. And that way you're just making your lead even bigger. This is really good. Like the Poppy greeting and go for that play. Yeah, she took our Krugs, but those were like level 1 Krugs. And now she just lost our entire jungle because we didn't do anything crazy. We were just ready for it. Going for the wolves is greedy because they all respawned. Yeah, like Poppy would have been there. You could have gotten rotated on Katarina and gave your shutdown. So take Grump and red and you're out. Or Grump and blue, you're out. Now we are really healthy, so we probably don't need to recall, but we probably have a lot of gold. I would either recall now or just keep going and go for dragon. Wolves. No? Keeping wolves for tempo maybe. Our bot lane did die, so it's kind of risky. Like the enemy team might now try to force a dragon play. I guess he wants to get his blue is Gromp. He might look for some vision afterwards. Yeah, maybe just don't face check the dragon. Sure. If I was like the enemy team, if they were greedy, they could have just done dragon there. But we don't really know. We couldn't see the health of their bot lane. Maybe they were super low. They're killing our bot lane. Now, so when we come out of this base, right? And ask yourself, where should you go? Like every click you have when you're jungling should have purpose. So probably like when you're recalling here, you should be asking yourself, where do you want to go? And I think the clear answer, like, so I mean, I guess this dragon is juicy, but I guess in Korea they don't really care about dragon stacking. Herald is more important. So look, it's 9 minutes, so Herald's gonna be valuable right now. And our entire topside is respawning. And then after our topside respawns, the enemy team is going to be respawning pretty quickly afterwards. So since we are 5-0, we have a huge lead. We want to recall, go straight top, take our camps if they're there, and then we can do Herald or we can invade. So that's what I predict will happen. And we want to invade because we're just so strong. We're just going to kill everything. We have Mythic and Boots right now. We just go for straight for Herald, skip the Krugs. Probably smart. I mean, the Krugs were like spawning at an awkward time. We weren't there yet. So, do Herald. That's huge. Now, yeah, we just... Snar's low, so we just look for a dive. We fail to jump over the wall. It's fine. We just auto. We're so bad. Now you see their Grump is respawning, right? We're probably going to lose Dragon, but it doesn't really matter. Maybe we might rotate to it. Check the wolves down. Look mid. See if we can throw a spear. See it. I'd be looking at dragon to see if they're on dragon. Because like we have a ward on dragon, so we would know if they're on it. Because they're not on it, they're probably choosing our jungle, which they were. I guess we're just heralding mid. I'd be careful. We could be getting rotated on by the support and the jungler. We didn't see their support or jungler on the map, and we knew they were in the river. Yes, he just heralded. He just heralded it instantly, you know? He didn't want to give the enemy team time to react, I guess. Like, there's something that's said about getting value out of your heralds. Like, some people like to finish off turrets with it, get it after a successful gank. But just giving plate gold to your mid laner is pretty consistent. Okay, so now we're just gonna do some of our camps. It's kind of downtime. I guess nobody's doing this dragon. And the enemy team just doesn't give a fuck about dragon, I guess. I feel like they could have done it while we were doing herald. So now if you're recalling, oh, we're not recalling. Going straight for a top play probably. Yeah. In a game like this, it feels like killing the top laner has been so easy, so we just keep doing it. The top laner just keeps fighting. Missed a spear, but we got the cannon. What was that? If that hit, we go in. Just being annoying right now. We're playing strong side top right now. We're just not giving a fuck about our bot lane. Our bot lane is feeding. I guess that's why he doesn't want to do dragon, right? If your bot lane is terrible and just feeding, and they're getting camped, like, maybe just don't go over there. But now we have our top laner on the dragon side of the map. So maybe we'll look for a dragon play. The Gragas will be able to like one-shot this area. We can probably just one-shot this dragon with so many items. Dark dragon. This is really smart. If you have a strong side laner, which I mean, this dragon isn't. Gragas isn't like super strong, but he's definitely like the player he wants to play around. It's easy to set up spears and stuff. He's just gonna get a little vision for him and like cover him. They just covered his Gragas for a bit, but now he wants to recall his items. It's Zanya's for stopwatch. I think stopwatch is pretty good here since you have a bounty. A lot of times when you have a bounty, you want to go stopwatch just to protect your like. It's a lot harder to kill you when you have stopwatch. Okay. If you guys want to see more VOD reviews like this, I can. If you guys want to see like player POV ones, those are a lot easier to do. I feel like more fun to see what they're doing with their camera, because right now we can't really tell health on side lanes and stuff. I can also do one for myself, like on my own VODs. That'd be fun. I mean, right now we're just Exodia. Like, we are so strong. Like, we have pretty much Bill Gates money. The enemy team makes a play top side, so we're just gonna take their jungle bot side. Just gonna cover our Twitch a little bit. I mean, if Twitch gets ganked though, he just dies. They're on the Gragas. Not much we could have done about that. Like, there's no way we could have saved this Twitch, and he's just inting. We're just not dying. We don't want to die with our bounty. Here, take a 2v2. We saw them recalling top, so we can do this 2v2. Pretty smart. Got his flash. Ooh. Arena goes for Syndra instead of NIDALEE. We're out of there. Who are Grom? Okay, we see that Gragas is getting cops on. We say it's not worth fighting around that. And there's not much else to say. He's just gonna play the game super clean. He has to play really clean. Like, this is his game to carry. His responsibility to carry. He set himself up to be super fed. So he has to play really well to win, because the enemy team is no slouch. Like, the enemy team is playing well. His team is like pretty down. Right now I would look at tab, I would look like, if I press tab right now, I'd look, okay, enemy team Zeri's the win con, but we have Gragas, Yasuo, and NIDALEE as our win cons. This is one of the best Yasuos in the world, I'm pretty sure. And we have a good setup for, but our team just gets caught again. Nice spear. Now we have a Gragas flanking with a Yasuo, so we're just gonna look for the... Okay, terrible Gragas ult. So here I'd probably just turn on my chat and start flaming the Gragas for trolling. We just need the Gragas to ult Zeri, so our Yasuo can ult the Zeri. But since he missed it, we're just gonna back out. That was almost a really good play. Like, that could have been a huge play. The Yasuo just got caught pretty early. Okay, recall here. I mean, we are still super strong. It's that battle between NIDALEE and Zeri, but I think like NIDALEE's team has a team comp that can deal with Zeri. They just play properly. Just missing our spears. Auto attacking for conquer stacks. We can't go in there. He's like staying right out of range of Gnar. Pretty good. And now Gragas finally got the ult on Zeri. Zeri forced the flash. Oh no, Zeri died. Yeah, nice. That's all we needed. You know, when you're in a game like this, like you just have to identify what your team comp's win con is. And it is Gragas Yasuo. And as a NIDALEE that's super fed, you just have to play super clean. And you know, you can play fights slow and carry to an extent. Have to wait for your team to do what they're supposed to do. And the Gragas finally ulted. We get a huge dragon play from that. Do our top camps. I mean, this game I think is pretty over right now. Like, it doesn't matter that your bot lane is feeding over and over. It doesn't matter. The 3 champions that matter are strong. So just don't get tilted at your bot lane. Just play clean. Don't give away your shutdown. That's the only way you can lose. Nice. Always be ready to follow up on your champions that have knockups and CCs. Spears. The enemy team is going in for no reason now. Korea. That's like... I mean, just kill this Gnar. Alright, well... Mostly this VOD review thing you do for early game pathing and stuff. But it's just nice to look at the whole game through. Get Baron from that play. Now you just close it out. We're just gonna ARAM. Which gets caught though. Yeah, so it gets caught, but Poppy's not trolling. Zeri's over there. Yeah, I mean, we just have a really strong Yasuo Gragas. Just heal your Yasuo, keep him in the fight. Guy's probably dead too. Throw your spear down here. Okay, okay. But he did throw it down. Better predict. GG. Honestly, pretty good game by Canyon. Okay, very good game. Him and Gragas really held it down. The enemy team is just doing dumb shit. They're just still gonna lose. Well, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Uploading that to YouTube.